Pasta, 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 pasta. Let's make some pasta. We're gonna start with toasting up some walnuts. I have 60 grams of walnut halves and we'll toast them up, shaking the pan every so often so that they don't burn. And after a few minutes, we're gonna remove from the heat. And once they're cooled a little bit, I'm just gonna chop them up a little bit more into smaller pieces. And then I'm just gonna set aside. We are roasting garlic for this recipe. It's gonna go so well with the cauliflower. So grab a head of garlic and slice off just the top to reveal some of the cut cloves. And then grab some foil, enough to wrap it up. And we're gonna place it underneath and drizzle a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and season with salt and freshly cracked pepper. And then wrap it up in the foil and just set that aside while we prepare the cauliflower. We're gonna chop up the cauliflower into florets, and half is gonna go into a steam basket and the other half we're going to roast. The steamed cauliflower is for our sauce and the roasted cauliflower is for garnish, and you can mix it into the pasta as well if you like. For the cauliflower that we are roasting, just place in a bowl and drizzle with some extra virgin olive oil and season with salt and freshly cracked pepper, and just give a toss to coat everything. Lay the dressed cauliflower onto a sheet pan. You can line it with parchment paper for easy cleanup, space the florets out, and then grab the garlic and place that onto the pan as well, and place in the oven at 400 degrees. The garlic is going to take about an hour and the cauliflower will take about 25 to 30 minutes. And you're going to flip the florets halfway through cooking, and once done, we're going to set everything aside. To steam the cauliflower, fill a pot with enough water to hit just below the steaming basket. We're going to cover with a lid, place on the stove top on about medium to high heat, and steam for about 20 minutes depending on how big the florets are. You'll know when it's done when you can easily pierce a fork or a knife through the florets. Grab 150 grams of pancetta, and I'm going to slice into little strips, but you can do whatever you like, little cubes, longer strips, whatever you like. Finally chop up half of a sweet onion as well, and finally chop up about 10 grams of fresh parsley. And of course, can't forget about the cheese. Finally grate 80 grams of one of Italy's finest, Parmigiano Reggiano. In a dry pan on low to medium heat, slowly cook the pancetta until a bit crispy and all that fat has rendered out. And then remove and set that aside. You can leave the rendered pancetta fat in the pan or wipe clean and add a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil instead. I'm leaving the fat in because it's all flavor, and we're gonna cook the onions in it. So add the onions, season with salt, some chili flakes for some heat, and add about 30 grams of unsalted butter. And saute until the onions are soft and tender. And then we're just gonna remove and set that aside. Now it's time to make the cauliflower sauce. In a blender, we're gonna add the steamed cauliflower, the onions, and all that roasted garlic. It can be a little bit messy, but squeeze it all out. And you can add a ladle of water, stock, cream, or milk. I'm just gonna go with some water, and we're gonna blend until nice and smooth. You don't want it to be too thick, as it's going to thicken up with the pasta and the cheese. So I would keep the sauce just a little bit loose and just add a little bit more liquid to it. And then we're gonna remove to a bowl and season with salt and pepper, and give a taste and adjust any seasonings and set that aside. Salt a large pot of boiling water and cook your spaghetti just before al dente, because we're gonna finish cooking it in the sauce. While the pasta cooks, add the cauliflower sauce to a pan and just grab the rest of the ingredients and keep them close. And now let's go. Add the pasta to the pan with a ladle of pasta water, and now it's time for la mantecatura, marrying the sauce and pasta together, mixing and tossing, adding more pasta water if needed. Now we can add the pancetta, mix and toss, and then turn off the heat or remove the pan from the heat. Add some of the walnuts and some cheese, mix and toss, and add a little bit more cheese, mixing and tossing. And once you're done with the cheese, lastly add the parsley, mix and toss. And there you have it, a beautiful, delicious, and creamy pasta. Plate it up. Pour some sauce over, some Parmigiano Reggiano, garnish with some walnuts, extra parsley, and can't forget those roasted cauliflower florets, and bring it to the table. This is ridiculous. It's awesome. It's so creamy. And then you get a little bit of the crunch from the pancetta and the walnuts. The roasted cauliflower bits add some nice texture. And of course, all that cheese. This is awesome. So I hope you give this a go. And as always, the full recipe is in the description below. Please like and comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, ciao.